Speaker Alvarez, thank you very much for granting us this interview. Can we begin with this? What are you looking forward to in the President's State of the Nation address?
Well, maybe enumeration of the achievements of the Duterte administration for the past year, and then maybe a mention of the bills signed into law that affects directly the lives of ordinary citizens. Like, for instance, Free Irrigation Act, free education, college education in public schools.
Yeah, that was very well received.
Yes, tapos hopefully signing of the BBL.
Mm-hmm. And we are hoping, you are expecting that this will happen during the SONA.
During the SONA.
Talaga?
Yes.
During the SONA?
Yes.
Not even before, but during?
No, during the SONA.
Oh, so that might be one of the highlights?
Yes, because if...
So habang nagsasona siya, biglang
so in the morning, pwede naming aprubahan yung inaprubahan ng BICAM.
Okay.
And then, in the afternoon, during the SONA, pwede nang pirmahan ng presidente.
Yeah, that's going to be quite dramatic because a lot of people are looking forward to that. At the same time, it will be the first in history. As far as back as I can remember, no other president has signed anything during a SONA.
Yes, but
right?
it's possible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Okay. But what do you also hope and think we will hear apart from that, no? Or see?
Well, maybe a reiteration of his advocacy, the war against illegal drugs, of course, the how to curb criminality, and maybe corruption.
Okay. Do you think he's going to detail exactly what he's going to, what he's going to do about the war on drugs and the war on crime?
I don't know, but alam mo naman si Presidente during his speeches, lumilihis siya doon sa prepared speech.
May bago ring parang feature sa SONA this year. Meron na kayong bagong seatmate, si Senator Tito Soto, Senate President.
Yes. I mean, that is most welcome.
Okay. Well, let's talk, Speaker, about charter change naman. No? The drive to amend the 1987 Constitution. So you have the Constitutional Commission submitting a proposal to transform government into a federal presidential. What is it about federalism that will guarantee what the Duterte administration has always said is its battle cry, a comfortable life for all?
Oh, kasi hindi naman ito basta sabihin mong delegation of powers, no. But ini-empower lang talaga yung sinishare yung power ng national government doon sa mga regions. So, I mean, yung regions mismo can now chart their own destinies.
Okay. Well, if you chart your own destiny, part of that is also in taxation. Parang the power to tax will also be shared, kumbaga, with the federal government. How is that going to work? So we pay taxes at national level. We have big income taxes, and then we will also have federal taxes.
Yun ang gusto ko makita. Kung ano yung mga shared powers na pinopropose ng Constitutional Commission. Kasi kami dito, meron din kami, of course, na version namin doon sa revised Constitution. So, titignan namin paano kami mag-reconcile.
Yeah, okay. In essence, what is the version of the House of Representatives when it comes to taxation?
There are areas na exclusive sa region, may mga areas na exclusive sa national government, at saka may mga areas naman na shared between the region and the national government.
Can you tell us what those are?
I can't enumerate.
Wag na muna. Okay, sige. The minute you say charter change, and no other administration has gone this far. As a matter of fact, every past administration has always had problems kapag charter change ang pinag-uusapan. So how do we guard against another lengthy stay in power? Ano yung magiging mga safeguard mechanisms na?
May mga ang balita ko lang, no? May mga proposal yung Constitutional Commission na of course, may provision doon sa anti-dynasty. Tapos meron siyang term limits no, na provisions. Pero for me, the way I look at it, siguro okay yung maybe anti-dynasty, no, na provisions. But yung term limits, yun medyo kailangan pag-aralang mabuti. You know why? Kung titignan natin, nung wala pang term limits, walang dynasty. I think what triggered political dynasty, itong term limits. Kasi kung hindi na nga makatakbo yung yung official, so andyan na yung mga anak, andyan yung asawa, 'di ba? Kaya nagkaroon ng nag-evolve yung yung dynasty. Tingin ko naman yung provision ng anti political dynasty, okay 'yon. Pero yung term limits, bakit anong masama doon?
Yeah. Term limits for legislators, senators, congressmen. That's what we're talking about, right? Okay. What
Pero
about
yung sa presidente, siguro one re-election. Parang sa Amerika.
which is their proposal anyway, 4-year term tapos one re-election.
At saka pag pumili ka ng presidente, your vote for the president must
It's
be
also
your
for
vote
the VP.
for the vice president. Kung parliamentary presidential ka.
Ang term nyo hanggang ang mga congressmen and yung senators who were voted into office in 2013 hanggang 2019. So ngayon, ang iniisip ng mga tao, sabihin natin by next year may plebiscite, magbotohan na sa constitution. Paano na ngayon i-adjust? May adjustments ba mangyayari? How is that going to happen? If
Alam
your
mo,
term is until 2019, so
para sa akin lang, if we are damn serious in really revising the Constitution, let's be realistic sa schedule. Tingnan mo, so na tayo ng itong July 23. Ibibigay sa amin yung NEP, National Expenditure Program, for next year. So kailangan namin bigyan ng ng oras yan. Tapos, medyo maiksi din yung namin, yung sessions, dahil may mga international commitments tayo. IPA, IPU, at
interparliament.
lahat ng mga ganyan, di ba? Na nagre-require ng attendance ng participation ng House at saka ng Senado. So, habang ginagawa natin yung budget, and then October magpa-file ka ng Certificate of Candidacy mo. O paano yan?
Okay. So now you're saying, how are we going to squeeze everything, convening yourself into a constituent assembly? At the same time, you have your regular
Yes.
work that you need to attend to, October filing COC. So you're saying that
Para sa akin,
let's be reasonable and allow a term extension. Is that what you're saying?
Kasi kung filing ka ng October, wala na, magkakampanya na yun.
Yes.
So ano pang time?
Yeah, wala na
Wala na.
oras. So, let's go
Tapos-
for term extension. Ang hindi
Tapos-
lang natin ma-extend ngayon, sir, yung oras sa gap na to. Pero we'll just take a break. Sandali lang po. We need to take a very short break. All right, Speaker Alvarez, let's pick up from where we left off. You are arguing for, or you are advocating for a term extension for senators and congressmen, precisely because you need to attend to this amending the charter.
Oo, kasi if that is the priority, so let's be realistic with the schedule. Diba? January, gagawin yan, and then may requirement ng massive information campaign, di ba? So gagawin natin yan to educate the people who will be voting for the plebiscite. So, pagkatapos aprubahan niya ng mga tao, let's say na-approve, then still you need a transition government. So ang proposal ko dyan is, dapat yung election, 2022. Sabay-sabay lahat yan.
So term extension, you're saying no elections in 2019. Sabi mo
Yun ang
2022. Yun ang iniisip
pinaka-practical.
mo. Oo. Okay.
Diba?
When we also talk about term extension, people are also thinking of the term of the incumbent president and
Hindi
vice
kasama
president.
yun. Kasi mag-expire naman ang presidente at vice president sa 2022. So doon mag-election tayo, sabay-sabay. Lahat.
Okay. So when pagdating, kasi ang mangyayari, hindi po ba yung CONCOM magsasabit kay Presidente, si Presidente, dadalhin naman niya sa Congress itong proposal. When that happens, you convene as a constituent assembly.
Yes.
And when you do that, you will be convening separately, jointly.
Ganito kasi yan, Pia. When Congress convenes into a constituent assembly, magkakaroon ng panibagong life apart from our term as congressmen, senators. Para kang nag-elect ng CONCON, di ba? Constitutional Convention delegates, di ba? So magkakaroon ka ng panibagong buhay. Oh, kasi constituent assembly ka na eh. Hindi ito yung
Yeah, but you will still be senators and congressmen
yes,
functioning as the House and the Senate.
as parang
And,
delegates.
yeah, in the past when you convened jointly, for example, to extend martial law in Mindanao, malaking away pa yung do we vote separately, do we vote jointly. So this time, ano yung mangyayari? Vote jointly, separately.
Ang nakalagay lang, kahit nabasahin nyo yung provision, may required number of votes. 3/4 of all its members, of all Congress members. No? So pag sinabi mong of all its members, so it refers to Congress as a whole. Di ba? Both houses yan. Oo. Yung nag-i-espouse ng voting separately, siyempre, sasabihin nila, pag sinabing of all its members, individual, no? May House, may Senate, di ba? So, gray area 'yon sa ating saligang batas.
Okay. Alright.
Pero para sa akin naman, mas maganda na yung mag-usap yung dalawang both houses para wala nang
Yeah. Well, last time you ended up voting jointly, but
wala
yeah.
mang problema.
Okay. Let's move on, sir. Peace and order. No? In the first week of July, we had 2 mayors killed, 1 day apart. The mayor of Tanawan, Batangas, on a Monday. On Tuesday, the following day, the mayor of Janotino in Nueva Ecija. And then others, priests, many others. How is the Duterte administration and Congress in the supporting role going to deal with this, going to clamp down on all of this?
Kung pag-aaralan natin yung mga killings, different motives eh. Merong involved sa illegal drugs, merong involved o merong politically motivated kasi wala naman sa involvement sa drugs yung yung mayor, yung sa Nueva Ecija. So iba-ibang anggulo, So part to ng of course ng criminality sa buong bansa. I think General Albayalde is qualified to address these problems.
Okay. So it doesn't require kumbaga drastic action, state of emergency, martial law, anything that will require the attention of the national government.
No,
Hindi naman.
no,
So
I don't
it
think
is
so.
basically a peace and order,
Parang-
law enforcement issue.
Yes,
Well, what about, so you have that AFP uncovering the communist plot to unseat the president, terrorism, etc. There is this feeling that there's so much going on now. Do you see the Duterte administration coming in to deal with this decisively or no?
Well, para sa akin, yes. Kasi national security yan. Like, for instance, yung entry ng yung ISIS sa ating bansa, talagang big threat yan. National security yan. Yung ginagawa nung komunista, syempre, nung araw pa, ginagawa na nila yan. Diba? Pero hindi natin pwedeng hayaan na ganun na lang. We really have to address it also.
Yeah, okay. But how do we address it? Still, law enforcement, armed forces actions. But that's it. Keep it at
magkasama
that
yan,
level.
dapat. Yung PNP at saka yung ating
Yeah.
AFP.
Okay. Let's talk about the next Chief Justice and the next Ombudsman. First, the next Chief Justice. Who would you like to see as the next Chief Justice?
Well, para sa akin, as long as merong integridad, yung walang tililing, mas okay yun. Kasi mahirap yung Chief Justice na mayroong tama sa utak. Oo.
Okay. Do you have someone in mind?
Wala.
Wala. Okay.
Palagay ko naman, wala nang ewan ko kung meron pang natirang may tililing dyan sa Supreme Court.
Meron pa ba?
Hindi ko alam.
Okay. Well, the five most, it's automatic naman po ba, hindi po ba, yung the five most senior associate justices. So that's Carpio, De Castro, Velasco, Bersamin, Peralta.
Or maybe from the outside.
Yeah, from the outside. Pero
Pwede
sir,
rin.
before we go to the outside, kung yung five most senior associate justices ang pag-usapan natin, so nag-bow out na si Carpio, out na siya, ayaw na niya, out of the running. Si Presby magre-retire, si Teresita De Castro din dapat mag-retire. So, kumbaga naiwan na lang, tira na lang si Bersamin tsaka si Peralta. You, knowing the president
Qualified
very well.
naman pareho yun. Qualified pareho.
Inunahan niyo na ako sagot.
Qualified.
Qualified pareho.
Oo.
Pero sa tingin niyo, would you know, could you hazard a guess who would the president prefer?
Mahirap.
Mahirap?
Yan.
Okay. Pero like you said, pwedeng outsider.
Pwede rin.
Oo.
Wala namang
Meron bang matunog na pangalan ng isang outsider na tingin mo yun ang...
Sa ngayon, wala akong naririnig.
Wala. Okay. You'd rather not venture a guess.
Mahirap eh.
Okay. We'll venture muna into a
Baka
short...
pag-usapan.
Yun na nga maganda eh. But pag-usapan natin when we come back. We'll just take a short break. Speaker Alvarez. Alright, Speaker Alvarez, since ayaw niyong sabihin kung sino yung nababalita ang mag-Chief Justice, sa Ombudsman naman, may balita kayo?
Ombudsman,
End of July kasi magre-retire na si Conchita
wala
Carpio
akong
Morales.
balita. Wala rin.
Okay. We cannot really tell, no, what the President is
Mahirap
going to do.
pangunahan si Presidente.
Mahirap din siyang basahin.
Mahirap basahin.
Talaga. But you think he will go for what kind of an ombudsman, what kind of a chief justice?
Integrity.
Mhm.
Integrity talaga.
Okay. When you say integrity, how would you define that?
Yung hindi mo pwedeng questionin yung kanyang pagkatao.
Let's talk about dissolution of marriage, the bill that is your kumbaga pet legislation, and yung civil union. Can we ano ba yung status update niya? What has happened to it
Okay.
so far? No?
Yung dissolution of marriage, no? Or yung iba tinatawag nilang divorce.
Mhm. Bakit nga ba hindi divorce bill na lang? Para hindi
Para sa
masyadong-
akin kasi, nung final ko yung aking version ng bill, sabi ko, why should I call it divorce? Sa totoo lang, dissolution of marriage talaga yun eh. You file a petition to dissolve your marriage, di ba? Dissolution talaga siya. So, yun inaprubahan namin dito sa House of Representatives. So, nandun ngayon sa Senado yun. Hopefully, makita rin nila yung necessity nung batas na yon. Kasi Pia, ang dami talagang nag-aantay na maipasa yan.
Mhm. And that's because they have difficulty getting an annulment.
Mahirap
for example, no?
Mahirap talaga.
Oo.
Because ang grounds mo ng annulment, kailangan nag-exist siya before or during the celebration of marriage. Hindi pwedeng after eh. Yung dissolution of marriage, yung grounds niyan after the celebration of marriage.
Mhm. Okay, so kumbaga if you had a problem, pwedeng
Oo.
cropped up later on.
Oo.
That could
Halimbawa, infidelity. Di ba? Yung mga ganon. Yung mga nambubugbog. Pwede mag-apply ito. Pwede siyang mag-petition for the dissolution of marriage.
Well, this bill has an interesting story because this is one of is it the only measure that was co-sponsored even by opposition?
Yeah, so far under
lawmakers?
my speakership, this is the only bill na nagsama yung majority at minority. Pati pa yung Makabayan Black, yung mga nagsama talaga.
Okay, so you're just waiting for the Senate to work on it. Yung civil union naman, hindi rin yung ito tinawag na same-sex marriage because...
No, it is not marriage.
No marriage.
Hindi talaga marriage ito. This is just a union between two persons, same-sex or opposite sex, na ayaw nilang pumasok sa marriage.
Mhm. Okay, and this is
Na
all-
nagsasama sila.
Okay, ito yung parang living in.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so these are what are these? Parang the rules that govern benefits for people like these.
This is just civil union. Na merong protection, yung two individuals living together, whether opposite or same sex.
Okay. When you say protection, meaning like
Meaning, halimbawa, support from each other.
how? Okay.
Tapos, halimbawa, ngayon kasi, halimbawa, same sex or opposite sex, yung isa ma-hospital. May mga pinipirmahan dun sa hospitals.
Right. Parang next of kin. Oo.
Oh.
And then, kung hindi naman kayo kasal,
Hindi kayo relative, hindi kayo magkaano-ano, hahanapin pa kung sino yung pipirma eh.
okay.
Yung mga waiver, yung mga kung ano.
So you're saying this law will allow, will say na
Yes.
you, para bang recognized as next of kin?
Oo,
Ganon ba yun?
oo.
Okay.
Oo, kasi kayo talaga yung magkasama eh. Oo. Tapos yung insurance policies, pwede maging beneficiary, di ba? Yung partner mo.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
So in other words, very practical applications
Yes.
that
Oo.
recognizes relationships that like these that already exist.
Oo, para wala namang wala bang nagsasamantala.
Second to the last question about the church. So in the last month or so, last month and a half, the president, of course, has said has let go of very colorful words against the Catholic Church. What do you feel about it personally, and how do you think this can be resolved? Apart from the fact that nag-meeting naman sila, no, nagda-dialogue din naman.
Well, para sa akin, tama naman si presidente. No? Kasi ang problema sa Catholic Church, nakikialam sila sa gobyerno. Yung trabaho ng gobyerno, gusto nilang pakialaman. Yung doktrina nila, gusto nilang gawing batas ng gobyerno. Ginagalang namin yung separation of powers. Yun ang doktrina mo, yun ang paniniwala mo, go ahead. Pero, preach that doon sa mga membro mo. Hindi lang Katoliko ang relihiyon sa buong bansa. Dapat igalang nila yung trabaho ng gobyerno. Huwag nilang pakikialaman.
Yeah. And is that why the president can let go of all those very colorful words?
Yeah, I think so. Oh.
Okay. All right. Last question and then final words. The ombudsman indicted former President Aquino for the disbursement acceleration program that happened just in June. Kasama din si Butch Abad, no? You think this is the right move, even as it is also seen as the Duterte administration, quote unquote, going after the former or the past administration?
Para sa akin kasi, Pia, kahit na anong administrasyon, kung nakita mong somebody committed a crime, di ba? O kaya transgressions, di ba? Kailangan talaga panagutan yan.
Final words, Speaker?
Well, bilang Pilipino, sana magsama-sama tayo, magkaisa para sa mga kinakailangang pagbabago ng ating bansa. At wala naman tayong ibang hangarin kundi pagandahin ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino.
Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez, sir, thank you very much for giving us this interview.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you, sir.